Blades in the Dark, Session 3. How are we all feeling? We looking forward to this?
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 2.5? I can't remember.
3. Yeah, 3. Number 3 proper session.
Is it really?
Yeah, you had the first session where you...
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that was character introduction, and then you did the last time, which was the score and the downtime.
Cool.
And this time you're actually having to pick your own score.
Nice. Wow, time flies.
I know. So I've written down here some potential scores. You know about this Red Sashes war chest.
Yep.
Baz also wants it, but you don't have to work with him. But you can do if you want to. You can take a turf if you want. Or you can work on one of your many long-term goals. And I did as well put some notes because I rolled the wanted level wrong last time. So instead of doing the losing all that rep, we actually did the thing where I rolled it again, rolled 2 to take the lowest. I rolled an extra 1 and I got questioning instead.
Do I need to update our Emporium sheet?
Yes.
Take out some meat, or do you already that?
Put you back to stronghold, not weak hold.
Oh, that was it. That's what we.
That's good.
So you haven't effectively lost like a whole level of.
That's good. Oh, what did you? Yeah, did you already do it? I assume. It was not very strong.
I must have done, yeah.
Yeah. Cool beans.
Cool. So, so with questioning, this basically means that the blue coats pick up not one of you, but one of the people who know of you, who know the score, who were working with you potentially on the last score. And I think what happens is, remember how Sergeant Belk was talking about how he was taking a bit too many bribes and he was getting a bit of heat?
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens is he gets a visit from an inspector. And inspectors are mostly non... inspectors are mostly non-Duskvolians. So they are more incorruptible. They don't have any ties to anyone or any faction. So they are free to do their job and keep the law.
Don't like the sound of that.
But I think first I need to do my introduction. Which NPC would you like for the introduction?
Perkins.
Oh, I vote for Belk.
I mean, there was quite a few. We had Belk. We had a couple of like downtime NPCs like Lorenzo's contact. We have Baszo again.
Got the new Martindale.
Martindale.
I don't really sound like. Who was the? We did the Brummy last time. We should do that again because we might.
What about the bear? Was that what he's called?
Yeah. I don't think he spoke though.
Well, but how might he speak?
It goes a little something like this.
Yeah, he's the one NPC that I've ever played that just sounds like me. It's really weird.
I know we are trying to get started, but for a moment there, Szaszachel's camera lit up with brief flash of light, and I actually saw his facial hair, which I didn't even realise was present.
Wow.
His hair is present.
Can we have a Zaza show and tell?
No.
Well,
That's a
but
good
what?
one.
Just my facial
He
hair.
left.
Is that what
He
you
just
want?
left. He's in his gag and he left.
So you.
Salutes.
I have had to like zoom in a bit to make sure because you were basically like this on the overlay, so I've had to zoom you in.
I tried to fix it a bit, but I don't know.
Give us a bit of light.
Yeah, no,
What,
I'm
really?
seeing it. It looks like look a bit V for Vendetta. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Happy?
That is
Yeah, very.
a Szaszachel accompaniment, if ever there was one.
Yeah, I didn't realize cosplay was needed.
Oh, I'm cosplaying now. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Beautiful.
it's too looks too warm to be Duskfall where you are. All right, well, sounds like Belk is the one we're gonna do. All right, so about 1,000 years ago, and then the beauty of magic was torn asunder. The sun was bloody red when it, and demons came forth into reality. Now the city of Duskfall is a hive of scum and villainy surrounded by vast electrical towers designed to keep out the dead as they cling to the mortal realm. Those who dwell in Dark City must fight, scheme, and dare to survive. Welcome to Blight in the Dark. And as he's saying that, sat at his desk to himself for some reason, he hears the sound of a cane knocking against the wooden floorboards of the police station of Crow's Foot. As you can imagine, it's in vast disrepair. Hardly anyone ever goes there or uses it. But he happens to be in there doing the paperwork for this fire bombing in the middle of the docks that he was part of nearby. And he hears this cane knocking on the wooden floor, getting closer towards him over his shoulder. And he looks up and he says, "Oh, Inspector Campbell. What can I do you for, sir?" And the inspector leans down and he says, "Am I right in assuming, Sergeant Belk," you know where this is going, "that you were in the vicinity of the fire attack that happened in the docks yesterday?" He's like, "Oh, yes, I was, sir, and I'm just writing up a report now. Would you like to read it?" It's like, "No. What I'd like to know is, were you and your mates skimming a little off the top, as per usual, and letting these scoundrels get away with bloody murder?" And he's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And then, so what we need to do is roll to see how much Belk talks.
Okay.
Based on what parameters?
Well, exactly. It's literally just a fortune. Let's see. This is. Where is it? Downtown.
Is there a land in Blaze in the Dark which is Belfast?
Yeah, it's probably. He's probably a Scovlander. He's probably one of the few Scovlanders who are like pro Imperium.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Why would he be?
Duskval has been very good to me.
Mr. Churchill.
Alright, so fortune roll 1 to 3, you get an extra +2 heat, 4 to 5 +1. Oh, so it's literally just 2 heat or 1 heat. Or you can pay off the blue coats with 2 coin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2 coin. That's a lot. So what are we rolling against? What's the what? I need to get the kind of parameters. What we think it's going to actually be. It's a fortune roll. So is that based on any stats we've got? Is there anything we can do to enhance that? Or...
So
No,
it
it's
says
a fortune roll.
it says roll 1 die or no die if they're soft or have some loyalty to the law. 2 die for a normal person, or if they're an experienced underworld type or some kind of tough, give them 3 or 4 dice instead. So I think it would only be 1 dice because he's part of the law, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's soft.
Tricksy.
Oh, I'd pay him off. That'd be pretty much all our earnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't pay him off, and we get just some heat if he. I think we could afford some heat. I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's do a fortune roll. Number of dice 1. It's a 3.
Well,
to 3. So it's +2 heat as Sergeant Belk unfortunately lets slip that he took a bribe of a group of smugglers, up-and-coming smugglers.
How much heat? Well,
But you did work to reduce heat last time, so...
Well, we don't really have much heat, so...
We had 1 heat. So how much we adding on, sorry?
Well, we
2.
have 2 more now. So
2.
then that's fine.
We're up to 3 by my count.
Yeah.
It's fine, because our
I'm
next
okay with that. Yeah.
our next score will probably not generate any heat, because we don't
No.
do that.
It'll be absolutely fine. We've nailed it. We know what to do now. Don't ever give any explosives to Silas, and we'll be fine. Do it all myself.
Cool. So then my last one note I had was on resistance rolls. We haven't used any yet, but I just wanted to remind you that they exist. Essentially, that is, if a bad consequence happens, you can choose to resist by taking stress. So you basically stop that thing from happening, or you can like make a harm less bad. And the way that works is you take 6 stress minus like your best roll of your, is it your lowest attribute, I think? Oh no, it's a thing that you're rolling to resist. So if you're resisting physical something harm, you roll prowess, take the highest, you would subtract that from 6, and you take the rest of stress. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Interesting.
So like a whole. Try give an example of a consequence we had that we could have resisted. Like is the boat catching on fire more?
Yeah, could have been. Yeah, I mean you didn't really fail anything that spectacularly.
Why, thank you.
But as well, if you tick off armor on your items, that will also allow you to resist stuff. So you can take like physical harm, tick off your armor, and then that will reduce your harm by 1 level.
Don't think I have any armor.
Silas definitely will.
He will be wearing armor probably most of the time.
I can take a special ability to expend a special armor to protect a teammate,
Yeah.
or push myself to gather information.
Yeah, so you can have like armor, or you can have like special armor, which is kind of more abstract.
Would someone like having like another gang member having your back, or someone in the shadows like watching over you, like a sniper or something? Would that count as special armor?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, any way that you could help them resist a bad consequence. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Sound cool.
Nice. Well, with that homework out of the way, we can go back to plot on a score.
Sounds good.
So you also noticed that I have tied up the clocks a little bit.
Lovely.
And I've also added in this faction clock, which is Lampblacks versus Red Sashes, because you can use clocks. These are called tug of war clocks. So essentially, they start halfway, and then as the Lampblacks and Red Sashes get one over on each other, it will go back and forth.
Okay.
So I basically started it halfway, and then I've taken a blob off for Why did I do that again?
Reasons
and things. I think it was because of your score where the Red Sashes tried to stop you from taking that gear. It's the Lampblacks, I think. No, wait,
Yeah,
what?
Sounds good.
But that would be the other way around then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what happened. I should really stop doing these the Wednesday after the session and then wait 6 days and forget everything that's happened. I can't remember. But yeah, so if you were wanting to aid one faction over the other specifically, then this would be how we represent the ongoing turf war as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your long-term projects. You've got Lorenzo's family murder knowledge. You've got Szaszachel's finding the source of his ritual knowledge. And Friedrich's special scarab stealing score.
I'm not sure if this is dumb, but could it be that you meant for the black side to be the lamp blacks, on the red side to be the red sashes?
That would. No. I mean,
No?
that'd be brilliant. Not how my brain was wired that day.
Okay.
I mean, what do we think? If I put it back to mid, how do you see the two factions at the minute?
Now he's mentioned.
Half and half, yeah.
You think it's still dead stalemate?
Yeah,
Yes.
but now you've mentioned that, I quite want the red sashes to be the red side.
Yeah, me too. Me bloody too.
It just makes sense now.
Does make sense. You can't argue with just good old
Sorry,
fashioned.
Al.
Red sashes versus lamp blacks, please. Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
Phew!
Nice.
That was a
Or
close
like
one.
Yeah. And I should probably color code all the long-term projects. So anyway,
On your own time, mate.
and yeah, exactly. That's
Could
my,
the family murder one be a darker shade of blue to show the depressing side of it?
yeah. That's my Wednesday morning taken up doing the YouTube and that. Cool. Yes, you were sat in the tavern, the Leaky Crow or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I wrote down
Gross.
leaky cauldron. I realized that is not a.
No, that's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Don't ask for a butterbeer here.
Exactly. Is it really called a leaky crow? That's what we're going with.
No. It's called.
The diarrhea crow. Gross.
Wait, what was it?
The damned.
The damned. Everything's just damned.
Damned is our theme.
Exactly. Everywhere we go, it just becomes damned. The damned drinking hole.
The
Nightingale.
damned dev. Titty club. Titty bar.
It's the leaky bucket, so we're not
Leaky
far
bucket. Okay, yeah. So leaky cauldron. That I can see why that was in my head, right? That's
off.
buckets of cauldrons, pretty much of the same family.
Yeah.
I guess. No.
You put liquids in them, mix them around, store them, put frogs in them. It's all the same thing, you know?
I'm not going to dispute this.
Because it's indisputable, that's why.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
We met a kindly / antagonistic old man, an aged ex-crime lord called Nightingale, the pub owner.
Yes. So he was the old leader of the Crows.
I think
Yes.
slightly banterous would be a better word than antagonistic. I think there's one antagonistic person at that table. It was Saffron.
Why he came in all smarmy, didn't he? Having a pop about me falling asleep. I didn't fall asleep. I was drugged.
You were
Um,
correct. That's correct.
Someone slipped something into my hip flask.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter if it was you?
Does it matter if it was me? No, it doesn't matter if it was me.
You are someone.
I am somebody.
Well, it doesn't seem like it. Feels more like you're a no one, depending on what was said.
Oh,
regarding the
right.
character.
Oh, right. Hello. What's on Nightingale's side? From my point of view, I think I don't know if it was you just kind of following what we were doing, but like we were starting to talk about like trying to hit the red sash where it hurt, and then this plopped in this idea of stealing one of their stashes. So it all kind of came together nicely. I felt that's definitely the drive that Saffron is after, is hitting the red sashes stashes.
Yeah, but also
Stashes,
remember
stashes.
that we were basing our plan last time based on what we thought was going to happen to us with our hold. So now that things are different, I don't know if we still have the same mindset.
Hang on. one of the consequences of us losing our hold, right, was the Red Sashes doing some sort of reprisals. But
I see what you mean.
Is that now retconned?
Yeah.
Yes, there was no
That's
reprisals.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
But
Right,
the Red
okay,
Sashes, kind of suck.
I still would not mind a big score.
Yeah, we can go for it. I just wanted to make it clear that obviously those things have changed.
Yeah, no, that's a
There's
good
also
point.
the Foghounds who hate us and are weaker, right?
Yeah, they're tier 1.
No. Oh, all right, yeah.
What tier are the Red Sashes?
You
Tier
can
2, it
see
says.
there, yeah,
Is it?
2.
I can see it. Yep. So that means they're tougher to affect.
Yes.
We don't currently have a lead on the Foghounds are doing.
You don't, but that is what gathering information is for.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, from Saffron's point of view, like the Red Sashes are from Eruvia, which is his homeland. He's desperate for more Eruvian goods, so it's pretty much kind of his dream heist. But that's just Saffron.
Mm-hmm.
Silas would be after the biggest score after a fairly modest opening gambit for the Emporium, I think, and then having had to pay some of it off in bribes as well. This is perhaps not the start to his fortune finding. So he'd probably be looking for something ambitious.
I mean, you know what they say: no risk, no reward. Strike while the iron is hot.
That is true.
Carpe diem.
We could definitely go for a big one. Yeah, I think being a bit ambitious right now could serve us well, especially since we kind of need to improve our own hold. So you could work towards that. Yeah.
Saffron kind of checks if Martindale is sneaking around, or if he's kind of moved on to other patrons, or if he's cleaning the glass while listening in. Is he kind of around? Is he?
I think after your snippy attitude, he realised you weren't in the mood for witty banter, so he gone back to serving his other patrons.
Oh, good. Well, I've convinced him I'm not being witty today, so that's good. I want to discuss whether we cut Baszo out of the job or not, and we just do it ourselves.
Well, I would think that Baszo will stand to gain somewhat from our activities against the Red Sashes. It might be that we can earn favour with the Lampblacks, while also getting a score from the Red Sashes.
My thoughts exactly. I feel like we're a capable bunch. Some of us, all of us. We could get the glory, get the goods, and we could still. Baszo would still appreciate our efforts, but we could come away with some proper loot this time to help rebuild and establish ourselves.
We may, of course, be able to get paid twice.
Do tell, Silas.
Is Baszo interested in our services? Well, you see, we can offer him a deal. He won't get any of the loot, but maybe he'll have something else that he needs. Maybe he'll simply appreciate us strengthening their hold on Crow's Foot.
Indeed.
Sounds like a bit of a gamble, but if you think that we can go for
sounds
it,
very daring to me.
Remember, you get extra dice for your engagement roll if it's daring, particularly daring.
Yeah, remind me, Baszo's part of the Lampblacks, right? That's
He's the leader, yeah.
Yeah, good. Just double checking that one. Sorry, remind me again. The lead about the Red Sashes loot that come from Baszo. Was that just we heard that on the grapevine?
I think he put that in your heads, yeah.
Put it in our heads. Well, yeah. So he's not invested. That's fine. What, Silas? Anything spring to mind we could offer him?
I suppose we can go and just have a little chat. I'm sure we can simply offer our services as supporting the Lampblacks. And, perhaps offer a future partnership as the Red Sashes slowly decline.
Yes, I don't feel like we should do anything to strengthen the Lampblacks. At some point, they're going to be an obstacle we have to overcome as well.
Indeed. I say we have a little chat with Baszo and see what happens.
Yes, let's not promise anything.
There's also the crows as well, who are the standing leaders, rulers of Crow's Foot.
They're not the power, though, are they? They're on the way out, aren't they?
Well,
Their leader's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a new one.
The power
But,
vacuum. Could we not assimilate them into our gang?
I really doubt that we can assimilate whoever is ruling the area into a ragtag team of people living in a warehouse.
Yeah, but their leader's
Back of the
gone.
shop.
There's a power vacuum.
no, they've got a new leader now.
Oh, what?
Well, yeah, it's not just like a bunch of
That's kind of what vacuums do. They
They fell.
fucking new things.
it's just a bunch of thugs being like, well, I guess this is it, guys.
We've got separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that what I've covered? Damn it, I keep covering everyone's faces with our faces. I can't find a good place to put us all. Couldn't use the crows on the
at the
list.
bottom, like default.
Because that's where the clocks are.
Zoom out.
You know you can zoom out, right?
Oh yeah.
You've been using this interface for about 3 years or more now, and you've just realized that you can zoom out?
Well, let's just say yes. That's helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like having the full screen experience, like an IMAX.
Well, 10 years' time, we'll all be wearing our VR
Exactly.
goggles
We'll be in person /
around our metaverse table.
Yeah, that's it. Sounds kind of fun, actually. I've zoomed out. That's great. Look at this. I can see everything. That's wonderful. Oh, well, great. Good to mention that. Right. Yeah, let's go chat to Baszo. But on the sly, let's, not promise him too much. Let's just, feel him out. Let him know we're going to do it, but not, not promising him anything other than just, helping weaken the Red Sashes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so you go over to Bezos' warehouse, head on up to his office. Pickett gives you a
Yeah.
as you walk past. It's those smuggling schmucks. Yeah, the only reason they won was because they did some crazy shenanigans on Bear. Weren't a fair race, but then again, you gotta respect the hustle. Don't know who he's talking to. He's just talking to another lampblack. He's like, not.
Have you seen my legs? Have you seen my legs? They can't race. It wasn't fair anyway. We leveled the playing field. They're young scabs.
Young scabs. I just love how Saffron's like the oldest person in Duskworld. Like, it's a freak of nature.
By about 40 years.
Yeah.
He's just that damn resilient.
Yeah. So, maybe you just tell people you're 60, but you're actually 39.
Yeah, it could be.
And everyone's like, whoa, he's 60?
Ham it up.
That's like a million years old.
A million billion years old.
That's like the immortal emperor.
That's me. That's Saffron. Knock. Does he have a door? I assume so.
He does now.
Sweet. Here. Open the door.
Oh, check those hinges.
Oh, hinge off. Right. Baszo, old man. I mean, I'm the old man. You know what I mean. Old friend. How are you today?
He looks up from his busy work of drinking spirits and, looking at his various things on the wall. I don't know what gangsters do, but he leans back and he says, "Oh, Saffron, it's very nice to see you, and such a short notice."
Yes, it was a lot of stairs. I'm very tired. He kind of just slumps down in a chair. Oh, give me a minute, Silas. You do the talking. I'm winded.
Daryl, where have you gone? You've messed up my overlay.
Oh no, Daz is gone.
Internet's gone.
Oh no.
Zaza show well.
The interwebs.
Alright, I don't know if I need to move you all. Yeah, he'll pop on the end doing it, so I have to move you all. But yes.
These overlays, eh?
Oh, no, I'm in the Szaszachel square now.
Yes. Right. Oh,
Blech.
no.
Blech.
This is going to be tricky. Okay. And then, okay. Mikey's in the.
Oh yeah.
Mikey's in there. Oh dear.
I'm in Silas. I'm in the
What have I
Silas
done?
square. Getting dizzy.
Ah.
Put me down.
I mean, this is the downside of the overlay. All the extra work. And this is probably more annoying for people watching.
You'll get the hang of it
Any
though.
problems?
Teething problems. Alright. There he is. He's back. Alright,
Hi.
cool. So,
Hello.
commence immersive conversation. Yes. He says, what brings you back to my office so quickly? What expedites your velocity coming back to my realms? That is to say, my particular office, etc.
Well, you have a lovely door. Bit squeaky. That definitely does come in. We want to let you know that we've got our eyes on the Red Sashes treasure chest, and we will be making our way soon to acquire it for our own gain. Just to let you know, a professional courtesy.
And he says, oh yes, I think it would be unlikely that you would have discovered the secret location of the Red Sashes war chest.
Oh, if you know anything about me, you know I keep a very tight eye on what the Aruvians are up to. I know every single piece of Aruvian merchandise working through this town. I knew about this days. I think you found out because of me, actually. And my network of spies.
He just like smiles at you and he says, well, if that's the case, then you better get to it.
We know this will be of great advantage to you, weakening the Red Sashes, so we want to see if there was anything, while we're on the job, anything you wanted us to try and achieve, any known personas you wanted taken out, or anything else we could do just to, keep you sweet.
He has a little think. He says, well, there's plenty of things that I would wish to happen within the headquarters of the Red Sashes. But there might be one thing in particular you'll be able to help me with. And he goes over to a back room, and he's gone about a minute, and you hear like clanging of metal, like obviously like safe noises. And he brings out this box, and he brings it into his office, and he's kind of holding it like away from him, like it's kind of, he doesn't want it close to him. And then he looks at you, Szaszachel, and he says, you see, normally whispers are very expensive to come by, especially those who are planning to slip into very important locations. Some days ago, one of my men acquired this very strange artifact, and it has a particular aura, a particular miasma. That is to say, a kind of a weird malaise that settles upon anyone who stands near it. I imagine if this was placed in the offices of the Red Sashes, it'll do him something awful.
Am I able to try to investigate it using a tune? Like trying to attune to it? Yes. Lovely.
Probably you would need to like have it in your hands and stuff first, rather than.
Okay. I mean, I'm not afraid of handling these kinds of artifacts, so I'll go for it. I'll grab it off of him.
Okay.
How do you just say I ain't afraid no ghost right then? I mean, come on.
Because I'm not you, Mikey.
Come on.
All right. Well,
I thought you were going to say it.
he sort of carefully passes you the box and then like wipes his hands as if to be glad it's gone.
Okay. So I'm able to. I'll wear the spirit moss just in case, just to have a full view of whatever I can see, and I'll try to attune to it, see to perceive any weird, anything weird going on with it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the position?
Controlled.
Mm-hmm. An effect?
Standard.
Standard? Do I suck at this? No. Okay, I'm very good at this.
It's a success. So what were you? You just trying to figure out what you could know about
exactly.
it,
Just figure out what I know about it, what I can understand by it. See if I can feel anything particular. See if I can see a spirit attached to it. Anything that I can get from attuning myself to its weird aura.
Okay. Well, as you take this artifact out of the box, it is almost I want to say like a D8 shape. It's an 8-sided shape. On each panel has these weird runes etched into it, and it's like this metal, heavy, cold object.
Mm-hmm.
And as you take it, your head starts to throb, and it starts to make you have this kind of very acute headache, and then you start to attune with it, and that feeling just intensifies and intensifies until it almost becomes, that headache becomes so like a pin prick in your mind, and as you attune to it, that headache, that throbbing just turns into a scream.
Okay.
And it's like a psychic scream that's being pinpricked straight into your mind. And your training, your knowledge is like, okay, I'm out. Like,
No,
you don't want to get too close to it.
No. All right. So this was in a container, right? Or it wasn't just the artifact itself?
Oh, this was when you picked it out of the box.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's back into the box immediately, and I look around and look at these people, and it's like, you don't want to mess with this. It's interesting to learn more about it, but it's probably best if we give it to place it where we need to place it, and head out soon after.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of specific spirit that's incredibly angry, that's been condensed and maybe even like being tortured within this artifact. So like a soul bottle, but antagonizing it constantly. So it gives off this bad juju.
Sounds
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Well, you want to hold it?
I'm pretty used to things being in or near my body that ruin it completely. So yes, I'll happily. Can't do much more damage. Already pretty rotten from the inside out.
Sure. Okay. Szaszachel hands it to Saffron wearily, and he's like, "Yeah,
Pocket
sure."
it. Nonchalantly pocket it.
Okay.
Try and look cool in front of his friends.
Okay. And he says, "Well, if you manage to place that weird thing inside the Red Sashes HQ, then I reckon there's 4 coin in it for you." but I'd be very surprised if you're able to scour the whole sword academy yourselves and find the war chest. I'd be happy to. I'm happy to remind you where the war chest is, but I probably want 50%. Just in case.
I'd say giving us 4 coin and wanting 50% for what you admitted is a very expensive and dangerous endeavor isn't exactly fair now, is it?
Well, I have to say, I don't think that Saffron knows the secret location of the Red Sashes war chest. His antagonism with the Red Sashes is well known. That's why he's my favourite Iruvian.
You flatter me.
But an ally of
But
the
also,
Red Sashes.
you offend me. I know everything of these streets. We'll find it. We don't need your extra cut of the jib. We've got the stuff, haven't we, team? Are we the Damned Emporium or the don't do it Emporium?
Everyone's just quiet.
I
think this thing's having an effect on me already.
Silas just sort of scuffs some dirt around the floor, like.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. I don't think we need to know the location. We can find it by ourselves. I've got contacts.
Huzzah, Lorenzo! Huzzah!
More contacts than Saffron does, might I add. More trustworthy too.
By all means, take it all for yourselves. Just make sure you place that artifact before you get cut to pieces by the Red Sashes swordsman.
That sounds like a better deal to me.
Sure. Maybe not the getting cut to pieces part.
Cool.
Well,
sounds like you've got your score.
We've got our score ready.
With a secondary objective.
Not dying.
Yeah. Right, well.
So I think we better gather some more info then, because we don't fuck all.
I thought you knew everything, Saffron. What's happening?
I don't bluff!
Luckily, there's like a whole phase for finding out intel, right?
Ah,
So
thank goodness.
Yes.
it's like what my character's meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Alright, so
What do we know?
I'll give you each a gathering information kind of roll /
So what do we know? We know where the Red Sashes headquarters is. Their main base.
Yes, so
where is that on our map?
So let me grab it from the. I will put it on the map.
And is it riverboat adjacent?
It's very far away.
So you see this big building on the east coast of Crow's Foot.
Yeah, but see now I've zoomed in again. I've got the same problems. But anyway.
The gold pip.
That's the well. This is where the.
Are we talking the whole little island, the whole little Manhattan there, or just a building within it?
There's a building like here.
Manhattan.
Oh, that okay. I see. Yes, that.
Yeah,
kind of
that
square with 4 squares.
Yeah, that is the
Okay.
the Sword Academy.
And somewhere within there is a war chest.
So in there is the war chest and all of the Red Sashes.
How many Red Sashes is all of them?
Trained swords people.
How many is all?
How many?
thinking there's more than 4.
You don't know how many there are. Yeah, tier 2
okay,
is
cool.
Yeah, tier 2 is because there'll be the gang, and then there'll be obviously all the people who work for the gang.
So I've got a cunning plan.
Is
Oh yes.
it as cunning as a fox who went to cunning university?
I do actually have a plan as well, so
I've got
I'm
a
eager to
cutting
hear
plan.
yours out.
I got bugger all, but we were in plans.
It involves getting some red sash uniforms and
Oh.
swords.
Oh, I do like that.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
We're river
Yes.
adjacent. We're river adjacent, so we got a getaway vehicle.
Yes.
Start from the end.
Yeah, we're backwards. So we're back home. We're having tea and crumpets. We've got the treasure. Right? How did that happen?
I mean, it's how good stories are written, so let's go for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've got plans, sure, that is just your looking for investigation role, then surely.
I guess my investigation role would be like obtaining these uniforms, right? Or is this like we want to find intel on like where the stuff is, and then that's going to be part of the heist?
I think
the priority, I think, would be sorry.
So gathering information is more like you finding out
where the chest is.
Yeah, I guess. Coming up with stuff that will help you plan out not so much the. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I guess
patrol routes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so. For example, for the score to start, you need to know, like, your method of attack.
Mm-hmm.
So assault, deception, stealth, occult, social transport, and you also need to know your detail. So the gathering information role is specifically to find to work out those two bits.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do that dressing up as redcoats thing, you can pick deception.
But we all have to align on that. There's one unified approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that would be the method of deception. So we would go straight into the score then.
Cool. Feels a bit cookie cutter in a good way. I like it, but maybe we can.
But gathering information could be like it might give you more opportunities and more. Yeah.
If we gather information, then if we then want to say, we've kidnapped some guys got their costumes, then that's a different thing.
I imagine
to say like, when we figured out our way of doing it. We want to infiltrate using costumes. How would we then get the costumes? Is that still part of the gathering information role, or is that something else we would have to like free play to get?
I'd say we could do that. We could do that before the score.
Okay, cool.
And
let's investigate, because we might find out that's not impossible. They check you via like barcodes in your wrist or something. So we need to actually find out more.
And then
decide how to do that.
Part of the detail would that be like I said before, like finding their patrol routes, so we could identify a patrol route, or like the guards we take their patrol route. So we're literally just swapping ourselves out for them.
I think as well. Maybe I don't know how much Saffron knows of the Red Sashes.
Oh, so much.
But it would make sense that they would know each other by face. There's not that many of them.
Do they not wear like bandanas or something?
It's like in Hitman, when you dress up as a policeman, the other policemen know you're not a policeman.
So we need to find out what other people go in and out of the Sword Academy. Cleaners, janitors, sandwich people, lunch ladies.
Yep.
Those kind of things. Okay.
Lorenzo's contact wheeling in some beef sandwiches. Yep.
The beef sandwich ladies back.
The prequel.
The multiverse of beef sandwich ladies.
Yeah.
Thalia, the information broker / deli person.
Beef sandwich 799.
Pastrami roll.
Well, look, Saffron's one for not doing too much movement or much exciting.
Are you gonna get high and then we're gonna reel you in?
Help! This man needs help. He's completely passed out. We need a bed for the night. Yeah, one of those.
He smoked too much opium again.
No, I'm thinking like I might just very basic, but I'm thinking take the barge down the canal, park it on the other side, and just observe for amount of time. I mean, the access points from the river, people coming in and out, what the procedures are. That'll be Saffron's go there. He can just chill on his boat, smoking a pipe. He'll go with no gear. The boat blends in. He can pretty much just sit and watch for. I mean, there's no time limit on this. We got days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take as much time as you want.
I might spend a good 12 hours just watching the back and seeing and taking notes on who's coming in, who's coming out.
So I agree with that. I actually really do agree with that. What I had in mind as well, which could add to this, was I could take the artifact and like just keep it on my person, and try to like preach and talk about like the cult and everything that I'm trying to gather and grow. And if anyone shows like anyone from inside the building shows any kind of interest, I could have them like touch the artifact and kind of like feel certain power from it. So it would be more inclined to believe me and the cult and everything that I'm saying, and then maybe we could get them to do the dirty work for us, basically.
Yeah, or exactly, or similarly, yeah. If we can notice any kind of like anything coming in now, if we could just smuggle the items that could be brought in via packages. Did Baszo specify exactly where he wants it, or just somewhere in the stronghold? Did he need like the head office, or did he need it within?
I think like if it was in one of the leaders' area.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm looking out for. Similar things. I think Szaszachel's got another plan as well. But yeah, similar vibes. Like again, just what's coming in now? Is any regular deliveries? These kind of things.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
Chilling.
So sounds like study.
Oh, I've got a Pippin study. I found that. I can roll a study. All right. Oh, I didn't roll a study. I took my pip away from study. That's the wrong thing. Study. Right. Position.
Controlled. You're hiding in your party boat.
Effect.
Standard effect.
No, boo. What an extreme effect.
Extreme effect.
Next bonus dice. How many bonus dice? What do you get bonus dice for? Like...
Isn't it risky because you might just have a smoke again?
No, I literally injected myself with a vial of freaking.
Reclines in your Shaylond on the back of the boat.
Yeah. This is just classic.
You just fall asleep
wacky,
on the.
This is classic wacky backy. It's fine.
On the car horn outside of the Red Sashes.
Wait, that's a phone ring. That's not the horn ring. What's the classic horn ring? I can't remember the classic horn sound.
Cucaracha?
The cucaracha. That's what I was trying to do. I did
Yeah.
the Nokia. I did the Nokia.
What's the cucaracha?
Kind of the
I
classic.
like it.
Giving yourself away with a horn.
Also sounds like a Nokia version.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
If you had to get bonus die, you can add stress. You can do. What can I do? How can I amplify my roll? I want to do it really well.
You get bonus dice if you use stress or if we help you.
Feels weird to be stressed while just sitting down.
Yeah.
It's really like straining and looking.
If you say you're doing like a 12-hour stint,
Oh, yeah.
you'll have a
That's a good
pretty
point.
good idea of who's going in and out. The
Okay.
role itself, I think, will determine what you can draw from that, like conclusion-wise.
Sure. All right. I'll roll. I thought you were going to say 12 hours is quite stressful, so maybe that could be the stress, but it's fine. All right. I'll roll standard. Here we go. Ooh, it's not great.
It's a fail.
What? I thought that was 4-5 is success. The consequence.
But you can't fail looking at things with your eyeballs for 12 hours.
Hey.
Unless you literally have fallen asleep again. But you're not, because you're a cool scoundrel, and cool
That's it.
scoundrels don't
Yeah.
they're not idiots. So you do see people coming and going. Various Red Sashes. You see someone who looks rather wealthy, well-to-do, definitely of Iruvian descent, entering and then leaving a few hours later under Red Sash protection, who you would surmise is one of the ambassadors from Iruvia, who you know not only go through the academy, but they also send their children to the academy. It's like a whole thing. Nepo kids. You can kind of hear the clanging of metal on metal from within the academy during the day as they do their drills.
Any non-Iruvian people going in and out?
Kind of like maybe like servants or random some people, like cleaners and stuff. Probably not cleaners, but chefs and things.
Cool. And what about just more basic stuff like I can see, like onto the river front? Is there quite a good access? Is it well guarded? Is it busy?
It's quite open. It's next to one of the main bridges. It's like a gardens on the other side, so it's quite open. You probably have a hard time sneaking it across there.
But it's not the main entrance. It's not on the river. The main entrance is more on the main road, or it's just one of many main entrances?
Yeah, it'll be on the main road.
Okay. All right. Over to you guys. I found out they're clanging swords in the Sword Academies. That was pretty important information to figure out. And that there are cleaners or service people, which could be, if we were going to do a disguise, would probably be who we'd disguise as.
Would you like to continue your stint, but with a reduced
yes.
effect?
Yeah, go on then. They've got nothing else to do.
Well, actually, no. Let's make it risky. Risky standard, as the old barge next to the academy gets even more suspicious.
And I think it's more temptation to shoot up. Whereas it's 12 hours.
I think at the point where Silas comes back and is like, "So you learnt anything yet, Saffron?" And what we learn is that like people come and go from the building.
Cleaners? There's cleaners. It's an open site.
I shall join you.
Hey, you're joining for Sarah. Here we go. Hello, second stint.
Yeah.
Here we go.
An actual copper this time.
You can keep me. His
So
hands started to shake and twitch towards his
He
bandolier.
will help Saffron in his surveying action.
Love
That's
it.
a bit of stress to help, is it?
You're probably used to staking out. You got your coffee and donuts ready.
Yep.
Coffee, donuts,
Binoculars,
the usual things you take out at the evening.
Yes, stuck on a boat for 12 hours with Saffron. That's going to be stressful, yeah.
You'll need some smoked sausage as well.
I could give you some smoke.
Don't know what you didn't spot anything, Saffron.
Something to smoke.
Is that like beach?
It's like beach. I have beach. Right, so risky standards, but with +1 dice. Come on. There we go. It's going to be good. So what does my pip in study do? It's having 1 pip in something just means that you can do
roll
it.
2 and take the lowest.
That's it. Great.
No, 1 pip means just you roll 1 dice. One die, right?
I said you don't
better.
roll 2 and take the lowest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's at least a success.
All right.
Not a great one, but it's
Success with a consequence.
Why'd you have 2 dice in that roll?
because Silas helped me.
Oh.
All right. So, both of you together, perhaps after this, midway through the second stint,
16 hours in.
yeah, you start to notice certain comings and goings from the building, and it's things like lots of trays of food and more tables and cloth and decorations and Iruvian flags, and you start to think, oh, this is starting to look like potentially some sort of social event is happening soon in the Sword Academy.
Many non-Iruvian Red Sashes going to be in there. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Nice. I tell you one thing I was looking for, which might not be attainable. I'm thinking of, again, some kind of, like, at a non-visible location, some kind of, like, I'm thinking, like, small sewer drain or grate that a little explosive could pop open and we could through a crack in the wall. Might be a bit hard to see from our position, but I don't know if anything like that's kind of a service hatch on the side of the building. I don't know, anything like that. It's kind of like could be subtly blown open.
Did Saffron watch V for Vendetta this weekend?
Maybe.
I think with a 4, you probably don't see that from a boat.
Cool.
Everyone
Gotta
seems
ask
to
these
be going
questions.
in through the front door, so main gates. But you can obviously see, windows and balconies and that sort of stuff.
Okay. Well, it's over to Lorenzo and Szaszachel. I feel like we need to find out what the party is, how we get on the guest list. That sounds like the kind of.
So, do you want to go for it, Lorenzo?
Was in obtaining more information?
Yeah.
I could always visit my my information broker. Is there a cooldown on that, or can you just see him as and when?
No, I think there's a cooldown, but it'll be like, you know, whether they want to help you or can help you will be a different thing altogether.
Okay. Okay.
There may be a
I'll
cost.
I'll visit Zalia. Do you remember the accent?
Yes, of course.
Oh, no.
Lorenzo, you're back already. Did you find the killer from your parents?
No,
Sorry,
not quite
just
yet.
just your father. Your mother still alive. You okay? Yes, so you got her out of the cupboard.
My father, my brother, yes. My mother's safe somewhere. In a safe house. Big safe.
You give me the address. I go visit her, and then we sit and we have a coffee, because I know you are not visiting her enough.
Look, that location's discreet. I can't trust anyone with that information for the time being. You know how this business is.
Oh, you know I would never sell the information of the whereabouts of your mother to anyone else.
You can't trust anyone. But my business. I was wondering if you had any information on the Red Sash compound, and apparently there's a war chest in that building somewhere. Not sure if you've heard about it.
Well, it would make sense that that gangs have a stash of all of their coin in their headquarters, heavily guarded. But I do not know where it is. I do not have good terms with the Red Sashes.
Well, maybe you could put your feelers out and see if you can find anything on them. Can I roll consort?
Yes.
And if you do this for me, I'll owe you one. What's the position?
It'd be just do a risky standard.
Risky standard. Oh,
Okay, actually, we didn't do a consequence for the study as well.
Oh yeah.
Don't feel like you have to.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to start a Red Sashes
No,
sneaking
not another
suspicion clock. Yeah,
clock mad.
so so she says, I will ask around. I think I know where the Red Sashes like to go for. A few Red Sashes like to go for drinks and other things besides.
I've got one more thing. We've got a plan formulating to enter that compound. And I just wanted to know if things go south and they draw the weapons on us. Do you have a good contact or someone who can get me in touch with their blacksmith? Maybe I could make a deal with them to blunt their weapons.
Well, you want to free blunt all of the Red Sash swords.
Yeah.
I imagine it's all in-house. Since they're a sword academy, they have like a trusted Iruvian swordsmith. Did Lawrie disconnect? I'll just do my clock then whilst I'm waiting. He's clock mad. Right.
Please come on. Rolling a token.
So this is Red
A clock with a chunk taken out already.
Sashes. One for boat that was parked there for 24 hours.
Mm.
And one for the people trying to interrogate them whilst they're having drinks about their war chest. You will change position again. Everyone disking. Alright, so does it show you're going to do any investigation?
I mean, I want to do, well, after everything else is done, I want to do what I talked about, if that's allowed.
You're going to what, sorry?
So after Lorenzo and everything is, after Lorenzo's turn is done, if you don't have enough information or if you don't have a game plan, I could still try out what I was planning on doing before, if that's allowed.
You can do, although normally trying to convince people to turn against their own gangs is going to be like limited, whatever you do really.
Maybe also there's no time limit on this, right? We were planning on doing this and going on the heist or doing the score within like 1 or 2 days. I thought maybe it would have like a 2-week leeway, which obviously isn't a long time, but.
Well, if you want to plan a score around this social event that's happening, then you only have maybe a day or two.
Yeah, actually,
When you know people will be busy and drinking and all this.
I think Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, do we know if this social event is exclusive? Is it open to the public? Is it like, or do we have no information on that?
You're the only one who can win out now, mate. I would say, just knowing that, we know at some point they're going to go. I feel like it'd be quite easy to just, intercept 3 or 4 guests and, steal their invitations as they're coming in. Like, that part, I feel like, seems like we could probably do pretty easily. The most important thing to figure out is when we get in there, what the hell we're going to face in terms of location and everything else. I think we probably can relatively easily get in. Knowing this, I think we need to find out a lot more about actually what's the layout of the building, directions. That would probably where I try and. How knowledgeable are your ghosts? Are they can you just send them in? Can they just go near the building and them if they're in there? Or
I don't have any ghosts yet. I don't have any saved in my files. I don't have any around me. All I have is the demon, and the ability to basically order around people who worship the same demon that I'm talking to. So I can't use that for this. But I'm trying to think of how I can get any information. I mean, actually, the Red Sashes, they don't really know us. They don't know what we look like, right? Do they?
They might know Saffron.
They might know Saffron. They'll know you're not Aruvian as well.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So I think what I'm most concerned about is trying to figure out whether this is a public event or whether it's exclusive. Because from there we can then plan what we're going to do. If we're going to need to intercept invites, or if we can just saunter in.
How would you like to find this out?
That is a good question, because it doesn't make any sense for me to just go up to the event and be like, can I get in?
Take us in the door.
Yeah.
Actually, can I? This might be a. Could I possibly show interest in joining the Red Sashes?
Yes.
So I would go there to the building itself, actively trying to speak to someone to see if they will allow me to get in, and then maybe I'll hopefully try to learn anything about this event that's coming up.
Okay. So you You go up to the door. You come face to face with a red sash, like swordsman. They say, "What business do you have here in the academy?"
I look him up and down and be like, it's time that I turn my life around. I want to be useful to the surroundings. I want to be useful to the population. I want to be useful to someone. I want to mean something. I've heard a lot about the Red Sashes and the organization, and I thought it could help me get to my destination in life.
He looks you up and down, sneers, and says, "But if I'm not mistaken, you are not even Aruvian."
I may not be Aruvian, but I believe that I could be used to help out and make other Aruvians' lives even better than they are. Do I have to be one of the population to actually help the population?
It's the normally tradition that we Aruvians are trained in the arts. I suppose there may be some openings as a cook or a cleaning of the blades, or maybe someone who cleans the toilet or something like this.
I would be very honored even if I was allowed to do such a thing.
I would not recommend it. It's practically no pay. I mean, I would not want anyone to do this. You're better off going and being a baker or something.
Yes, but this way I can help out the people who help the rest of us out.
We really do not do this. We only help out the Ruvians.
Is there anything I can try to?
I'm being obtuse and for a comedic effect. I think he just.
Okay, I thought you were being like, okay.
I think roll me. It sounds like sway.
Yeah, I thought it would be sway. I only have 1 pip, but I will try to push myself for this because this is quite a big deal.
Oh, using all the stress before the score.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a big one. Position, I would imagine it's risky, right?
It's well risky, mate.
Yeah. The effect is extreme.
It is standard.
Oh, God damn it.
You will convince him that you are looking for work. Although you're kind of dressed quite nicely as a whisper, aren't you? You're kind of like.
Well, I wouldn't be wearing my actual nice clothes for this, right?
Okay. Disguise kit.
All right. Let's see.
False nose.
Yes, that's my second 6 today.
Wow.
Nice.
Don't forget you can trade position for effect. If you want to get XP and farm those desperate actions. So potentially screw everything up. Right, yeah, so he looks you up and down again and says, "Fair enough, it is your life after all. I will get someone to take you around the back for some sort of interview or check or whatever it is they do for your kind." And he gets a passing servant to take you in to the academy.
Alright.
And you go through sort of weaving corridors, and you go down some stairs, and you come into through a kitchen. Many Aruvian foods are being prepared, and you get to the office of a off the side of the kitchen, where you imagine like the head servant is kind of the person, the master of ceremonies kind of figure. And he says, "Well, yes, what is it?"
I was told that I would be allowed to start working here.
Well, do you have any experience? What's your skill, man?
I can cook, I can clean, I can fetch things for everyone else. I'll do whatever it takes to be a part of the environment and the organization.
And he says, "Very well, yes. Well, leave your information with my man here, and we'll get to it at a future date. But we're way too busy now to even consider bringing on new people. It's too much of a risk.
I've heard of an event taking place here. Would I be able to meet people and talk to them and try to get them to know me so that I can show them that I can be useful?
Well, I'm very sorry, but this is not an event for our kind. It's an event for the ambassador of Eruvia to Duskfall. He's the guest of honor. It's a very, very big deal. You will not be allowed upstairs. You will not get past me and anywhere near the ambassador.
That's very unfortunate. But would I still be able to help you guys out during the visit? I'm guessing you would have your hands full and you'd be very busy around the entire thing.
Roll me an action.
Yeah, I thought I was pushing my luck with this. Is it going to be sway again?
I mean, you could use any action if you can make an argument for it, but it will
sway
affect.
Is the only thing that I can make sense of. I'm not going to command anything, obviously.
Hi, damn it! I like your balls.
I'm gonna go for a walk and a baguette, mate.
What you hiring him for?
Surveying from inside of here won't be really any of use to anyone because I'm in one room and I can't see anything. Studying as well won't be useful. So I think in this case it just has to be sway again. The question is, do I risk pushing myself for this again?
Push.
If you
I'm already very stressed, to be honest.
yeah, you could survey, and I could give you more information on the route that you took and what you saw.
Okay, I'll do that first then if I can do that.
Okay.
Without stress, because it's not that big of a deal.
Yes. Just remember, you're risking Red Sash suspicion clock.
Yeah, I know.
Every time you roll.
We gotta do something. So position would be risky, right?
Yes.
And I think the effect is
Limited.
okay. That's better than standard. I'll take it.
It is.
That's what I'm not gonna. At least it's not standard. Shut up. I'm not gonna push myself for this, right? So okay. So this is gonna be a bad one.
A single die.
Oh, or quite good. Okay, I'm happy with that.
All right. So success with a consequence. The consequence is obviously someone's really wants to work for us the eve before this certain event.
I'm just trying to work on my.
Hopefully they don't all come together and talk about all this weird stuff's happening.
I mean, yeah, I'm being suspicious, but at the same time, if I am allowed in and then this whole thing happens, I mean, my cover is blown anyway, so it's the only chance I have.
Yeah. And then so it's limited effect. So he's not going to hire you on the spot as you wish. But so your goal was to actually be hired, or?
Yeah, so my goal would be if I'm actually hired, then I could possibly help either get the other three in somehow to the back or whatever, when I'm taking the garbage out or some stupid stuff. Or if I'm unable to get hired, then at least I can find some information about the interior.
Okay.
I mean, now I know information about the event itself, so that's good.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to do whatever I can.
I've got a different idea for the consequence. I think I'll put that back up. And I'll say, okay, so he says to you, oh, very well, if you really are in need of work, I have no idea why you insist on working here, but I believe we need someone to wash the dishes on such a big event, but I'll be keeping my eye on you if you put a foot towards those stairs to bother the great ambassador of Eruvia and all of our betters up there. then you'll be straight out. You understand?
I understand completely.
Very good. And he tells you to report back the next day, so the day of the event. So yes, he will be keeping an eye on you, so you'll be
Restricted
to the kitchens.
Yeah, well, we'll find something to do from there, I guess. I hope.
Summon the ghost carrot.
Terrifying.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was fairly successful.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to have to now push you for a plan, and the details. So, assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
I think this would... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So it's not transport.
Are we?
Not.
We are transporting one thing from, no. I think it's stealth.
I think it might just be stealth, yeah.
Yeah,
Just try and sneak in, and then figure the rest of it out in.
Did we scrap the costume idea or the uniform idea?
Well, yeah. Once I was thinking, once I knew, and that's the part. No, it's like once we knew there was a guess, what I would have probably done to set information, I probably would have intercepted a cleaner and interrogated them for the layout of the building, and maybe even got information from them.
Well, we could do that once we're in.
That's a very good point.
Or flashback.
Or flashback.
Yeah, or a flashback.
So, but is flashback OP there? Because flashback just doing more, looking for information after the point.
Yes, but it costs
No,
2
it's not
stress
really-
every time, or more.
Huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
more
that's-
than...
But it's more for dealing with unintended
Yeah.
things, right? Rather than going in and being like, information I planned to have, I now have magically. It's like,
Yes. So we
what
have.
do you
So
do
we
when
have.
you bump into the patrol or something.
Did Daryl actually make his way inside the building? Or was it all around the back? The interview. Did he actually get into the kitchens to see anything? Has he actually been through the doors?
Yeah, he's sort of been
Okay.
through the entrance and sort of the servants' quarters.
So.
So the
Does he-
so you need to share the detail, which is the point of infiltration. Szaszachel, I think when you left, they made you leave through, and they showed you the servants' entrance.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Come back here, meet here." Like the next day, with your, they give you the servants' garb.
Yeah.
How specific is the garb? Is it easily replicable if we were to just, is it just white shirt, black trousers, apron, or is it probably like branded red sash kind of stuff?
I think the head butler would know if like 5 people turn up instead of 1 into his kitchen ready to cut potatoes.
Yeah, I think the way in's going to have to be a sort of get in through a servant's entrance and then,
Yeah, but
just sneak and or blag our way through
so
and try not to be found by anyone that matters.
So with the whole like disguise thing, surely just avoid those people. Like if we go in as servants, surely just avoid that one geezer who knows all the servants.
Well, it wouldn't be just him who knows the servants, right? Because from what Olly said before, they all know each other. Like, they know the faces of each other. Which I guess kind of makes sense, like when you work in the office. Like, for example, your co-workers, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, it's a fairly large building with a lot of staff. So if we just move quickly, and don't give them a chance to kind of see your face or, really scrutinize you, then it's fine, right?
Well,
we're not going to be like, standing around having conversations with everybody, are we?
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's kind of what you're going to have to do, because I can't show my face around outside the kitchen area now. So I'm going to be
a multi-pronged attack. I
What?
feel like once Szaszachel's in, and then the party's in swing, it's going to be less, and then he can just let us in once he's in. Like, we will give some time, he'll start his shift, and then a couple people could make their way into the entrance. If it's a social gathering, people are going to be going to this spot. We just need to intervene a couple of them.
Yeah. So the
take them to the
point.
side, get their clothes, get their ticket, and go in that way. So we can kind of some people, so not too many people at once. Some people to the service, people to the front.
So Your point of infiltration is you still want to dress up as guests.
Can we? Yeah, you're right. You said they can't.
Because you
Can't
don't
dress up
know
as-
if it's you have an invitation. You know, it's a guest list. You don't know anything like that.
I would gamble that the people going there would have a invitation on their body. If we were to be able to get two people, subdue them, then we could.
What?
We could just flashback it, add ourselves on the guest list.
I mean, again, that seems OP, right?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
before.
It'd be
It
very
meant to
hard
be.
to do.
It meant to be react. Why not?
Well, imagine the steps of adding yourself to a guest list.
Yeah, that's quite.
Like, how would you even do that?
You'd sway one of the guys who do it.
Guys. We're overthinking it. We're overthinking it. I said we. I don't mean we. I mean you. We've got a way in. We'll get in. We'll sneak about. We'll figure it out. Intimidate. Bish bash bosh. Beat up. Worst comes to worst. Fight our way out.
But you want us all to go through the servant entrance, even though we don't disguises don't have any real way of
Well,
getting.
maybe
in.
Szaszachel can find us a window or something to get in through.
I feel like there's so many guards. If we just like wander in, it's not going to be successful to just stealth in because there's so many guards, right?
That's why I says the multi-pronged attack. We have a couple going through the servant entrance. A couple take the guest uniforms.
I mean, no, that would be great, but how are you going to get the guest uniforms?
Just as we see people coming along, we just take them to the side. Get their attention. Come down an alley.
If you want to go for that, if you want to go for that, like, by all means, do it.
We can go for snatching some guests. I think that is a viable option.
You're pretty short for a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Is
think
it not viable? It's not viable to do both on it because I feel like we've got this great service entrance. Like we just can't all go through it.
Why can't we snatch the guards instead?
I
They
think
can't.
They know what the guards look like.
you're going to have to start the score.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you
One-
vetoing it?
one
We vetoing
point-
it double 1 point of entry. All right, fine.
Yeah. You have
Um,
you've worked out a point of infiltration with
Okay.
Szaszachel.
I've got it.
Fuck it, let's abseil the building and repel from a window or something. Mission Impossible style.
No, I've got it. Zazashel's going in by himself. That's fine. He's in there. He can
Oceans.
gather. We're all gonna go in via guest uniform, guest outfits and invitations. But Szaszachel on the inside will find us. There'll be chef uniforms on the inside. There'll be spare clothing there.
Oh.
We'll meet him there, and he'll give us clothes, and we'll change into chefs when we're in there. And then we're off.
Yeah, I just realised as well because Lawrie, you disconnected, so I never got to give you your success for your gathering information.
Oh,
Yeah. Did I get away with blunting the swords? Was that a thing? Or was
No.
that too OP? Not even some of them.
No.
That's
like-
a
that's
hard-
like-
Disappointing.
Yeah. Why did the Americans do that in The Last Samurai? Just go into the samurai town and get the swordsmith to blunt all the swords. Brilliant, mate. There's only 200 of them, and he's only he's an 80-year-old Eruvian.
Yeah, just even like a quarter of that would be good. Or less.
I think that'd be a bloody good sway if that was going to be the case. I think it'd be zero effect, and that is a thing. Unless you pay 20 coin.
Which we don't
Okay.
have.
All right, so
we got a plan.
Lorenzo, you learn from your contact that the Red Sashes are actually, in the way that you are familiar with the Blue Coats, you learn that the Red Sashes are friendly terms with the inspectors.
Oh, a new faction.
Some of them are Iruvian, and one Iruvian inspector in particular who is on the guest list. Inspector Campbell,
Well,
who not only is fond of the academy but was a previous student of the
Is this
sword
someone
arts.
Is this someone we already know, or is this someone?
This is the guy who was questioning Belk.
And this is the fancy guy who came in, who we saw come in escorted by Red Sashes going in and coming out with the kid, or?
Yeah, this is someone who Lorenzo's contact said, like, oh, I've found out through the grapevine that there will be inspectors, or at least one inspector at the event as well.
Did she find out where the war chest was?
No.
So that was the question I had. That's what I was going for.
No, she was
That's
only.
what I swayed for.
That's the only information she was able to find out.
Useless.
Yeah, it's funny that you got. Why don't you just sway her to do the score as well?
It's not hard to get that information, surely. There's so many Red Sashes, some of them
Well,
big
it
corrupt.
is. I mean, if somebody tried to sway one of you guys into telling them where your stash of coin is, even though it's 3 coin, like how hard would it be for that to happen?
Not hard if fucking Saffron's drugged off his mind. You know what I mean?
He does have a point there.
There's ways. We're scoundrels. There's ways, and doing stuff.
Well, that's why you have. Well, you can do anything you want now when you're in. What I'm worried about is you, Saffron, actually, because I don't know how recognizable you are.
Well, yeah, but there'll be. I think the difference with the guests, right? They'll have elaborate cowls and shades and all kinds of stuff.
Is it a Marks event?
It's more Saffron's more like known about. His actual face, I don't think, is particular. Especially he's not really been out in public for at least 10, 15 years. So it's more if he introduced himself, "Hi, I'm Saffron." I'll be like, "Wait a minute." But his actual face, I think, at a glance, is not gonna attract attention as long as he doesn't act too saffron-y, I suppose.
I say you shave your beard and wear glasses.
I've never shaven my beard. I've been growing that for 60 years.
We had it when you were born.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be fair, probably was. No, wait. Okay. Anyway, I really think we should start the score.
Let's do it.
Right, so pick your loadouts, please.
Oh, yes.
About that, actually.
Let's all go
Can I have a normal loadout?
Okay, normal.
As in, can I have a loadout since I'm going to be working on the inside?
If you don't want to draw suspicion, then you will have to take light.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Light doesn't sound great, does it?
I think we all have to go light if we're trying to sneak in.
I'm going
light. I'm going in light. Let's check my chemicals I have, because if there's any more useful, let's have a look.
So, if I've got the item find cover identity, what does that mean?
I think it's explained in the book if it's an item that you have, you had on yourself as a spider.
Yeah, right.
Find cover identity. Just remember, you don't have to pick everything at the start.
It's in italics, so I get it either way.
Yeah,
okay,
so that costs no load.
Yeah. Find cover identity. Yeah, you can.
Paperwork, planted stories and rumors, false relationships sufficient to pass as a different person. Perfect.
Oh, nice. So you could actually
I am a guard. God damn it.
I was going to say you could actually be a guest.
Oh, okay.
An invited guest. Well, no, it's up to you, but you could be the one person who would legitimately pass off as a guest.
Well, if we could do that, definitely minimise the number of.
And perhaps someone would important guests might take a guard.
Yeah, security.
And their grandfather.
The drug peddling mobile pharmacy that is their grandfather.
If you had a guard, they could probably have a normal load, right?
And a weapon probably on them.
I mean,
if you're a guard, I guess.
You can certainly attempt that, yes.
I think that'd be pretty normal.
I think that'd be reasonable enough. So I shall go normal load, and once we're in, attempt to pass off as Lorenzo's guard.
Cheers, guys. I will use a tried and tested method with the assistance before we enter of trying to. Yeah, I need to overpower a guest on their way. So I need to, from my observation, I'm sure I've noticed a good spot that people are coming to that I can lure down into a side alley and then blow dart poison and then knock them out and steal their clothes and their invitation.
I mean, I asked you about your loadout, and we've ended up back at the point of infiltration.
Well, they started talking about how they're getting in,
and also it means that now everyone's going in as guests, and Szaszachel's just working in the kitchen now.
I think it's good. He's got these. I tell you, when we get in there, he should be sorting us kitchen costumes so we can swap when we get in there.
Let's start the fucking score.
So you can go in and out. You can go into the kitchen and stay there.
We're going to be sat down for dinner, and then Szaszachel is going to bring out the main course.
Yeah.
Well, there you are, Szaszachel.
Friedrich's on the roof. Is waiting on the roof for the whole time, waiting for you guys to join him at the window he's broken into.
I thought we'd start the score then, whatever.
Yes, well, it's time to do the engagement roll.
Okay.
So we are really gonna have to get faster at this, but it's fine for now.
This was a tricky one to plan.
Yes,
it was. It really was.
It's the biggest heist we've had so far.
Really?
Yes. Cool. So you get 1 dice base. Now, is this operation particularly bold or daring? I would say yes.
I would say it really very much is, yes.
Plan's detail exposes a vulnerability of the target, hits them where they're weakest.
Yeah.
Well,
You're hitting them where they're strongest.
We're going to the belly of the beast, mate.
Well,
Yes, so-
where they're strongest, but if it works, it's going to cripple them.
That's not. Your plan's detail has to expose a vulnerability or hit them where they're weakest. This is where they are strongest. Friends, contacts provide aid or insight.
Yes.
Yes.
We had Lorenzo's contact, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Target is... Oh, wait. I think that's the wrong way around. Target is a higher tier, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then district modifiers. I don't think you get anything for being in Crow's Foot. That's fine. You. Okay, fine. So how many was that? That's quite a lot.
Is that you get your dice for each of those, or is that a bad thing?
Yeah. So you get 1, 2, 3. So you got 4, and then disadvantages. Operation is overly complex, contingent on many factors.
Nah.
It is. Let's be honest.
I mean, how many hours have we been planning the plan in the game where there shouldn't be any planning?
Just be honest.
But if this is overly what isn't overly complicated?
You're joking. You want to change costumes twice? I'm working down in the kitchen. We still have no idea how we're going to end up doing it. So yes.
You don't know where the war chest is.
That's not what you said. He said it's overly complicated many steps.
Contingent on many factors, and you're doing 2 scores in 1 as well. Target is strong against this approach. Have particular defenses or preparations. I would say yes because it's their HQ. Yeah, and they're.
The number of dice is going down again.
You go down to 2. Enemies, rivals interfering in this operation? No. Target is a higher tier. Oh yeah, that is actually correct. That is the higher tier. So you had 3, now you're down to 1, and you might be down to 0.
I'm sure you tier against us twice.
No, it's you get +1 if they're a lower tier because it's easier. It's -1 if they're a higher tier.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
So sneaking into the HQ of a tier 2 faction
is quite risky.
Yeah,
And
This
very
is
daring.
0 dice.
tears.
Oh, I'm expecting to. I'm expecting to have
Harry,
some time
looking for
already.
trouble.
Right, roll engagement.
But I thought we had no dice.
Well, you rolled 2 and hit the lowest.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it
Olly,
didn't.
can you not?
It didn't even
Can you
Just
matter.
not, mate. Are you sure we didn't have one dice? And not would really help, actually, to be honest.
That's true.
I didn't trust that maths. I didn't trust that
So
maths.
you had one for base fortune, one because it was daring, one for friends or contacts, so 3, and then disadvantage, overly complex, target is strong as his approach, target is higher tier.
I think we had 4. It's 4 on 4, isn't it?
All right, so that is a you start in a
That is very
desperate position.
XP though, guys.
Yeah, you have to make it out to get XP.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to do actions.
If-
You got just
If we end up in jail, that's still getting out technically. So
I really don't think that jail is on their mind. Like if they catch us, I
Yeah.
you know.
well, getting out of life is still getting out.
I
Lazy
guess.
head.
You come back as ghosts who get to cut potatoes forevermore. So
Rather be on the damn Dodger cutting potatoes.
yeah. All right. So yeah. So you start desperate. So okay. Let me think. So to recap, what's happening? Szaszachel turned up for work as planned.
He just got a new way of life now. He's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
When this all goes tits up, I think he just pretends he was never part of the gang, right?
yeah. Well, wait, who
Work
has
his
the
way up.
artifact? So you have the artifact as well.
I do have the artifact, yes.
Yeah, you took it back. Yes, you did.
Okay.
That's a strange looking potato you're peeling there.
This is my like kitchen tool I got off Amazon for 12 quid. It cuts potatoes. All right, so
and
that's
slices them.
so I think what happens is yeah. So yes, that shell's 10 in the kitchens. Lorenzo, Silas are heading towards the main entrance. It's sort of dusk. There are lit torches. Actually, there's more like probably. No, I would say there's like Iruvian special torches lining the route towards the main
Right.
entrance.
Can I just say we arrived by coach as well, in style.
Do you have a coach in your load?
You can arrive by barge.
Is that barge
Then we
again?
just take a taxi at the taxi coach.
Just walk it, you lazy.
No, because I'm meant to be like some grand person, right? So I need to fit the bill.
We don't have it, so.
No, but I could just hire a taxi, right? A taxi coach.
You don't use an animal coin for this.
Oh, God damn it.
I think we can reasonably have arrived by a local taxi garage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that's,
Let me
I
have
think
my
that's
RP.
well within our regular means to pay for.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for something, I guess.
Electro handsome. You can turn up to one of those. Yeah.
I just want the flavour.
Sometimes flavor also has a cost.
Yeah, but not like a whole coin.
No, not a whole coin. No, it's walking about money. Okay, so and then Saffron, what are you doing again?
That's a good question. So yeah, I mean, so
Never
the
worked
assumption
out.
is getting dusk, getting dark. I will be lurking in an alleyway on the route, and as I see a guest pass, we'll make some kind of noise. Maybe lure them in with some wares. Maybe a promise of oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's yes, you're on your way to the party. You probably want to take some extra special enjoyment in with you, do you? And open the coat to show all the wares they could maybe to accentuate their party experience and try and
You're the guy hanging outside the Levers Ball.
yes,
Okay.
that's it. Get the weed in there. It's the way.
All right. So this youngish, noble Iruvian chap who was on his own jumps in your carriage with you.
Wait, I'm in a carriage. I thought it was down an alleyway.
Wait, I thought you like lured him into your carriage.
But did we get a carriage?
Yeah, it's like just a taxi.
Oh, They're
Yeah.
great, even better. Yeah, definitely. Lure him into a carriage.
Okay,
Why
so,
taxi?
so you lure him into the taxi, and he's like, "Oh yes, what a brilliant idea, old man! Oh, you look just like my grandfather. He was a good guy as well. He right bastard though, not like you, my friend."
Oh, no. I bet you are. I'm sure you're looking for some trance powder, glittering pleasure to make the night even more miraculous and magical.
I just put it all in here, mate. Put it all in my goblet.
Kind of just fumbles.
I've
it
been
all
pre-drinking since sunrise.
Kind of fumble it all to the floor and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you pick that up for me? I can't reach. I've got very hold back. Sorry. Oh."
What are you trying to do? You trying to
Just
clump
blow
him
dart
round the head?
Yeah. While he's looking, I can't get him. Just get him while he's fumbling on the floor of the carriage. Just a little blow dart in the back of the neck while he's fumbling around trying to pick up all the drop merchandise.
All right. So you do that.
They do.
You knock him out. And the desperate start is that this is exactly when the carriage pulls up to the academy, and the cabbie opens the door, and this noble just falls out of the taxi onto his face in front of the Iruvian guards.
Oh my! Are these guys texting with me? Is it just me?
Silas and Lorenzo are in the taxi with you. Yeah.
All right. Oh, don't mind him. He's been pre-drinking since 4 p.m. He's had a rough old time of it. Silas, or wait, do we have new names? Did we get new names? We just got their names.
I'm thinking fake names is wise.
Okay.
Cecil Lionheart.
Cecil it is.
Cecil.
Oh, fucking me. Okay.
Get him back in here. He's probably need to go home. Actually, I think he's not fit for the party. You guys go on ahead, and I'll come meet you all. I'll tell our good cabbie man to take him back to his home. You go introduce
Terribly
yourself.
sorry, sir. I couldn't catch you in time there. I shall just pick you up and we'll get you home safe. Don't you worry about that.
I'll get him back. You go into the party.
The guards approach with their hands on their Iruvian sabers. And one of them goes to pick up the young man, whilst the other one keeps his eyes on you three.
Silas would like to interject at this point, and sort of, I would probably say fairly aggressively, kind of step forward and say, "Get your hands off my master. It is not for you to touch."
Roll me command.
I shall.
And this will be desperate.
I think I will add a point of the old stressy Wessy for this.
Lorenzo,
Yeah.
Lorenzo could obviously help, right? He's right there. He can. Your sister, Lorenzo.
Saffron, you've got your own
The effect
character
will
to
be-
play.
Yeah.
Suggested.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Effect.
This will be limited
Limited.
for reasons you may find out.
Can I help?
Yes, how are you
For
helping?
reasons we may find out. Okay.
Lorenzo leans out the cab, the wagon, and kind of. How do I speak again? He's my drinking partner from a long time ago. He's always up to no good. This is classic Gerald. This is him all over. We'll get him out of your hair quickly.
Yeah, we don't want to disturb the party any further. We're so sorry.
All right, 2 bonus dice then.
Yeah, I'll help. Can we all help?
Oh well, 3. Well, so I'm getting one for pushing myself, 1 for Lorenzo. Is Saffron helping as well?
Is that how it works, Holly? Can people all help? Or...
It's one.
Yeah, you just have to take 2 stress for every time you help, right?
It's one
Lorenzo doesn't.
stress.
Oh, is it one?
It's
Can you
two,
get multiple
two
help?
to push yourself and 1 to help. I don't think you saying the same thing as everyone else is going to
No, I agree. It's not
push it any further.
All right, 2 dice total then, or 2 bonus total.
Nope.
Ooh.
There is a 6 in there.
Hello.
We're very lucky today.
I'm not. Do you see that
Okay.
double one?
You see the position we've started in.
Hello.
So the effect is limited. So what you wanted to happen does not quite happen. And the reason is the guards like listen to you, and one of them goes ahead and like doesn't pick them up when you say that, and turns to look at the other one. The other one says, "That is." I have to come up with a name, but he says that is the son of the ambassador. And I do not, and I know the ambassadorial guard by face. You are not them.
No.
And he's not called Gerald either. He is called.
Sorry.
He's
What,
called Lorenzo. No, that's your name, Lorenzo.
How is this not? How is that limited?
It doesn't sound like a success at all there.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Game Master.
Why don't you not interrupt and let me finish? He says, "I'm coming to that, but I think about it. Okay." I mean, it's because you basically were trying to still sneak in. So I think what happens is they say, the other guy says, "Well, I think that I heard there were new people starting at in the ambassador guard. Perhaps these are the new recruits."
Oh.
And the other one sort of looks at you warily and says that, "Very well, but we will take the ambassador's son to the ambassador right away, and when he wakes up, we will talk with him."
I'm conscious he has like a dart in his neck.
I imagine you might have taken the dart out.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to let me know. It
I think
depends
it's like
how.
it's dark at the minute, so I think I don't know. You could probably sleight of hand it.
That's what I was going to suggest. I'm kind of like, oh, absolutely, no, we want him in the best care, but he's
fit with your robes or something.
he's got some of my pouches of my medicines. I need them. I'm very sick. Can I just kind of scuffle with him and get him back and take the syringe out of the neck?
All right.
No, there's no chance of sleight of handing like an invitation out of his pocket.
Or an invitation
Son
for
of the ambassador.
son of the
He doesn't need an
ambassador.
invitation. It's fine though. So they take him. One of the guards like takes him inside, carries him inside, and then he looks at you. Wait, so you're all pretending to be the guards now? Or Lorenzo, you're still a guest.
I don't think that Saffron can pass himself off as a guard. So, I think Saffron just
Art of the
he just carries on with that. I'm actually not with them. I was share the text. I'm actually going on to the leaky buckets. I was just sharing a gap half the way.
I'm off to the kitchens. But
I think Saffron's gonna have to make it into the kitchens at this point.
I think okay, so I think he checks out Lorenzo's invitation, and he says, "This is all fine. Welcome, Cecil, to the party." And then, as you say, like Silas is your bodyguard, and the guard says, "We do not allow non-Neruvians to be armed within the Sword Academy. This is a tradition we have had since the academy was built. So I will need you to leave all your weapons at the entrance. You will not need them."
Certainly, I would expect no less.
I can't imagine you have a concealed weapon
I'm just
item.
looking. No, I'm just looking.
a boot knife.
I've got a concealed palm pistol.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
always.
I don't have anything that's specifically listed as concealed. But I do wonder if he could have an unusual weapon that could pass off as not a weapon.
Cane sword.
You know, that's something like that he would have brought with him.
Yeah, I imagine people still check canes to be swords.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you could always fight with your shoe or something, or like I don't know. We can come up with like a maybe
He'll
there's like
he'll have to improvise something.
something
he'll have
like
to get
that.
his weapons.
Maybe a hip flask you could use. Like it's not gonna be very effective, but it's still
He might pick something up in the kitchens
exactly.
or from around the party.
Yep.
Is my sword being taken as well?
What sword do you have?
Got a cutlass.
Well, yeah, they won't let you take a cutlass into the party. No.
It's part of the outfit though.
Yes, but
It's ceremonial.
Yeah, it's ceremonial, exactly. It's got like a red sash on it too.
Show him how well she blunted it. It's fine. Just show him it's blunt. Like that's what you did, right?
no weapons allowed in the party. That is a reasonable rule, I feel.
Yep.
For you to expect. Oops. You got a concealed pistol. Why do you need a blunt sword for?
Because a pistol's loud.
You don't have anything in
and it's gonna
skirmish.
alert all the guards.
Well, we're
That's
not
true.
planning on using it.
Yeah,
Are you
but a
planning on
blade,
making-
Although it's sounding rather likely we might have to.
Yeah.
Bloody Gerald's gonna blunder
But
his way back
it's
in.
fine. Silas is going to sneak in. Party's all going to go well. He's going to sneak into the armory and he's going to get himself a blunted sword.
Yeah, because
All of them.
Lorenzo made sure they're all blunted. Yeah.
I'll be
Oh
down
no,
in
we
the kitchen.
didn't actually.
Everyone's
That
just
wasn't allowed.
finger gun fight instead.
All right. So
well-
weapons given up.
Weapons given up. You make your way into the main hall, and an Aruvian head of not services, head of what's the word? Head of proceedings, kind of person, all decked out in Aruvian regalia, announces your arrival. Sir Cecil Lionheart and friends. Cool, and you enter into the banquet hall with all the Aruvians. And then just before we end for the session, we cut to the kitchens, and we see Szaszachel peeling endless mountains of potatoes, and we see the head butler patrolling the kitchens and keeping an eye on everything. And as he walks nearer to you, Szaszachel, he starts to hold his head
No.
as he seems to get a piercing headache, and he starts to eye you suspiciously.
Ooh.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
And we shall end it there.
Fine. So are you saying Saffron didn't go through the main gate? I don't quite understand how he'd be.
No, you're outside apparently.
I'm okay with either eventuality for the DM to determine whether it's more of a pain in the ass to have a separate thing going on, or if he's just bumming us all in. I just don't see the reason of Saffron getting in as a guard, but again, could be his elderly uncle of Cecile Lionheart. Whatever your will is.
I think nobles have associates and mystics and all this kind of thing. I think you could have passed as a.
The only thing I would say is that he definitely didn't come dressed for the party because he was expecting to steal another person's costume. So he's looking pretty shit. I guess the only thing I would say as well, which probably adds to the desperate situation.
Yeah, I mean that certainly doesn't help matters. Yeah,
Well, Saffron's main aim was to
we
get
shall
the kitchen,
see.
get a kitchen outfit. So
We shall see how things go, and also because now you're inside The guards on the inside will be tier 2, so they'll be 2 tiers higher than you, so effects will be
Lovely.
even limited by that as well.
Oh, we're tier 1 at least, aren't we? We're still tier 0.
Yep.
How
Oh god.
embarrassing.
If you have fine stuff, fine counts as 1 tier above, but that would still put you at tiers 1.
I have a
Well-
fine weapon. It's just it's at the door.
I have fine
I'm a
wrecking
fine
tools.
demon. It's just I can't talk to her.
I have my fine wrecking tools.
I am very excited to find out how this plays out, and also terrified. But it's certainly ambitious.
You're not
It
here
is
next
as
week.
daring as it could get.
You're not here next week.
Yeah.
No, don't get me killed.
We'll try.
Oh, you're not gonna be here next week.
Saffron, you not? I mean, Michael, you're not at Gamescom.
No, I'm going to holiday on like the Friday, so I opted not to go because it overlapped too much. So
Oh, okay, cool.
let the young bucks have a go for once. Get on the socks.
Fine. All right. Well then, yeah. Maybe Silas is Maybe Silas. Maybe all your guys didn't work, and you had to stay outside.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Saffron's the
Maybe
guy.
you're like, that's it. I can't. I'm out. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Actually.
Maybe you're like,
Depends how you want to do it.
we'll let Saffron in because he literally couldn't.
Yeah, maybe he's
Anything.
maybe Silas is just not willing to go in there without his weapons.
Yeah. All right. But you got that XP. Did you mark your desperate desperate
I
XP?
did.
Nice. All right.
I don't
Well,
think I got. Did I get some XP for this? I'll need to check later. Ah, why is it so bright? Jesus.